last video, we determined that net operating income must be true or the whole analysis is wrong. NOI must be as accurate as possible because the ability to measure the investment hinges on accurate net operating income. Now, as you probably know, net operating income is just a start in determining what you can and will pay for the right to receive the income from this investment. So let's look at how the next measurement, called cash on cash, looks from the eyes of an investor. Now, from NOI you can calculate an overall cap rate, and that will give you an indication of how strong the investment can be, but that is only the beginning, and most realtors stop at the cap rate and say, oh man, look at this cap rate. But there's so much more to the investment than just the cap rate. Now here's an interesting thing. Cash on cash and cap rate are the same if there is no debt. Now let's consider a rental for $300,000 cash, and it only generates $14,800 net operating income. Now if you use the formula on the screen, you can see that this equals 4.9% cap rate, and it also is a 4.9% cash on cash return. So you put up $300,000 cash and you get back $14,800. What kind of a cap rate is that? That's 4.9%. So $300,000 cash is quite a bit of money for such a small amount of return, and the amount of work that a rental is going to require, and the risk. Now, $14,800 is all you have left after expenses. That's your NOI. That's all you have left to work with. Now, this amount of cash will just not support much debt, which means that you must come up with a larger down payment if you really want this investment, and that's going to reduce your rate of return. Now, if you move the figures around on the screen in this formula, you can see what the price would be if you wanted a minimum cash on cash of, say, 8%. Now this will say loud and clear to the seller that your price is just way too high for my investment guidelines. I have one investor that requires a minimum cash on cash of 10%. In other words, he just will not invest unless it's close to a 10% cash on cash. Now, cash on cash is a good and simple, easily understood measurement by everyone, but it's only the beginning of the investment process. We all understand when there is not enough money left over to cover debt and put some money in our pocket, and we also know that there's something that's not good about the deal if there's no money left over. And that usually means that several things need adjustment. It could be the price, it could be the cash flow, it could be the quality of the building, but something needs adjusting. In this example, 14,000 NOI simply states that the price is too high for the amount of net income that the property can produce at this time. Now, cash on cash gives you a rate of return on the cash you invested in year one of the investment. This cash on cash measurement, if you look at it, will tell you a lot about this property. It might tell you that you need to invest your funds somewhere else, like in a CD or a treasury certificate or something like that, with very little risk. Now, in your analysis, if your down payment, your closing costs, and your out-of-pocket expenses for year one shows a decent return, then it's time to move to the next level of the measuring process, and that's debt coverage ratio. You want to see if you can get a loan. Now, oftentimes adding debt will increase your rate of return, and the reason is because you are using other people's money to generate a greater return than the cost of those funds. So cash on cash is a simple and quick calculation, and from this simple calculation you can tell if the price is too high and if there is going to be any possibility of having money left over after debt service and taxes. Now, this is Chuck Trice with Investment Tuesday, and I thank you for watching.